Congratulations on successfully completing book one. Now let's jump right into the recap. So we're talking about business fundamentals. And one of the first things we should look at is what it means to be an entrepreneur. And so the book opens with a definition of entrepreneur, which talks about, someone taking a risk, someone investing time, energy, and money into starting a business. And you might find different definitions across the web, but that's generally what an entrepreneur is. And an entrepreneur is either someone who, builds up a company and then runs it or sells it for a profit. And so what do successful entrepreneurs have in common? They have a certain mindset. They have a certain approach. They have certain skill sets that allow them to push forward their vision and gain momentum and success and buy-in from others, right? And so we've compiled a list here. Look, there might be words and concepts and characteristics that are not here that you think should be here. And I definitely recommend on that notepad, hopefully you got your notepad, I definitely recommend asking yourself, what other characteristics or skill sets or mindsets should be on here, right? Thinking of a successful person in entrepreneurship. But also, I would ask you to ask a very important question. Which one of these do I possess? Which one of these am I really good at? Which one of these do I need to work on? Take inventory. As an entrepreneur, as in most cases, the leader of the organization, you must continuously work on developing who you are. And I rarely say must, but I will in this case, because you are the person that's leading the business, right? And if you're not creative, okay, that's fine. But if you're also not adaptable, and if you're also not resilient, and you don't have passion, and you lack vision, and you don't like taking risks, and you hate leading, and you don't really think of your customer, you mainly think of what you can get out of it, and you're definitely not persistent, and you refuse to continue to learn, then maybe you should ask yourself if entrepreneurship is for you. But if you're someone who does appreciate learning continuously, you're here now, there's something that has drawn you in and you want to learn about how to start your business, that's great. And if your level of persistency is needs to be worked on, but you're willing, and leadership, yeah, you think you're good, but you can refine some of those skills, great, right? We don't need you to start perfect at being a leader, at being an entrepreneur, but we need you to be willing to develop certain skill sets, because in essence, you are a leader, right? Anyone who decides to start something and has a vision and is ready to go and execute that vision and make it a reality, that is leadership, right? That, to me, that is leadership, especially if you're customer focused. You're being a leader and you want to provide impact in an area that might not be that might not have something or a product or a service. So kudos to you, but really ask yourself, what can I improve on? Then, second very important part of book one was understanding the business plan. And so what we did was we provided you with the fundamental themes or sections of a business plan. Now note, every business plan may look different, right? These are the suggested best practice for developing a business plan, but it could change. But I guarantee you, most business plans, you'll find these sections. I also wanted to let you know that depending on the type of business that you're developing, depending on who you're creating the business plan for, the business plan might be shorter or longer, 20 pages, 40 pages, 10 pages. It all depends on who you're giving the plan to, right? Some people write a business plan for their own clarity. They don't need anyone else's money. They don't need anyone else's support at the moment. They just want clarity for themselves. And in that case, you can have what they call a one-page business plan, which, yes, covers all of this, but literally in a sentence or two. But then you have people who want to borrow money, okay? And sometimes that amount of money could be in the millions. Well, guess what? If someone is going to loan you $1 million, they need to make sure that the risk they're taking on you is very minimal, right? And so the best way to make them feel confident or to make them feel like they want to give you this loan is by presenting your business plan. And you can imagine if you're asking for $1 million, the person that is thinking of giving it to you is probably going to need more than 5 or 10 or even 20 pages, right? They want to know that the business is going to generate revenue. They want to know the company description in detail. They want to know the market analysis in great detail. If you look at the market analysis here, it talks about analyzing your target market, your competitors, and industry needs. That can't be a sentence, right? If I'm going to lend you even $50,000, I need to know that the target market you're targeting, that they are plentiful, meaning, if you say I'm starting a business and I want to target women age 20 to 25 who are of Asian descent, then I'll need to see how many people in your area that you're targeting actually identify as being of Asian descent. And if that number is something like, 500 people, then how are you going to become a multi-million-dollar company if the service you're selling is only $20 a year, right? If you do the math, you'd have to have all of those people become your client. And even at that, them paying $20 a month will not make you a multi-billion-dollar corporation, right? And so that market information is really important, and that takes research, something we touch on in book 2. Competitors. If you are saying to someone, lend me $1,000, I'm going to build a product and I'm going to sell the product and I'm going to become a millionaire and I'll give you back your $1,000 in a couple of weeks, they might want to know who your competitors are. They might want to know. I mean, if you're competing against, 60 people just on your block offering the same product and service, someone who's looking to loan you the money might say, I don't think that you're going to be able to make $1 million. There's 60 other people doing what you do on the same block. We think you might make 500, but not a couple of million, right? And so this information that you go out and you get, it makes people feel more comfortable and confident about you reaching the goals that you say you're going to reach when it comes to sales, product or service. This is a very important part of your business plan. If I tell you I want to make a cell phone, I don't want to just say I'm making a cell phone, it's going to cost $60. I want to say I'm making a cell phone. It is, 6 inches long, 2 inches wide. It'll have 3 camera lenses. It'll be, a half an inch thick. It will have 60 different features, and here they are. It'll cost this much. You want to go as much in depth about the product or service that you're offering as possible so that the person reading the business plan really gets the full sense of what you're offering. And it's a great tool for yourself. Marketing and sales strategy, right? I'm going to be a millionaire by 2023, by 2026, by 3030. Okay, great. But how? To become a millionaire means that a lot of people have to buy your product or service, usually. And so how are you going to get your product in the hands of all of those people, right? It takes a plan of action, which we like to call a strategy. What does strategy mean? It means that you have taken the time to think about the plan you want to make, and you went a little bit deeper than just putting a couple of action items together. You've done your research, and you are confident that it will work. Operations and management, same concept here. You have this business, you're going to make $1 million, you're going to make even $200,000. How are you going to deliver, right? You most likely will need staff, support, partners. You'll need other people to help you, but not just people. You'll need processes and structure and organization. You cannot become a successful business when you have some people working, some people not working, some people doing some jobs, some people not doing some jobs, no one really knowing what their role is, no one really understanding what they're expected to do, etc., etc. So not only do you need an operations plan, but you also need to understand how you will manage the people and the resources that will help deliver the value and the product or service of your business. Also very important, financial projections. Financial projections, funding requests, these are kind of hand in hand if you're seeking out money, if you need to borrow money. But the financial projections, you need to tell the person who's reading this business plan, and you even need it for yourself, right? Sometimes it's yes, it's for others, but it's for you too. You need to know this idea you have. Is it profitable? Can you make money? And so your financial projection will definitely help you identify if you will or not. We call this feasible, right? Is this business feasible? Will it bring in money? Is it doable? And then finally, you'll definitely want a section that talks about how much money you want to borrow if you need to borrow money and how you plan to pay it back. Well, friends, that was it. I look forward to seeing you in book 2 recap